Welcome back to part 5 of the Sunshine Kisses and Fairy Wishes crochet along. This is Faye's section and it's called Pretty Maids All in a Row. Let's get started. Now for row 1 we need to be on the wrong side, so we have to have the wrong side facing up. So turn your work over and we're going to join into the first stitch. Now let's find it first. There's my knot and there's my stitch. So you're joining with a standing single crochet into that first stitch, which is right there. Okay. And so we're just doing single crochet in this row all the way, so that you end up yet again with 216 single crochet if you're following the pattern. When you get to the end, I need you to chain 2 and turn, and just being careful when you get here to find your final single crochet, which is this one here. That's your chain. Don't go in there or don't add anything in there. That's your turning chain. This is your final stitch. Alright, so 216 single crochet all the way down the line, chain 2 and turn, and we'll get together again for row 2 and I'll trim away my little ends. See you soon. Okay, row 2, we are now turned. I made a chain 2 at the end of the previous row, so I'm ready to go. So for row 2, this chain 2 counts as the first half double crochet. Now we're going to put a half double crochet in the next stitch, so let's find it. The chain is in that first stitch, I need that one there. Okay, so the next stitch gets a half double crochet. Now we start our repeat. We make a single crochet and a double crochet in the next stitch. So here's my next stitch. So I start with a single crochet and then I also put a double crochet into the same stitch. They're both in there. But now I'm going to skip a stitch. And so your whole repeat is to skip a stitch there and then put a single crochet and a double crochet into the next stitch. So you shouldn't worry about having too many stitches because we are skipping one in between, and what that does is it pulls the double crochet off to a diagonal a little bit. So we'll see how this pattern plays out. So skip one, single crochet and a double crochet in the next stitch. Skip one, single crochet first, then a double crochet and move across. Skip one, single crochet and a double crochet. You go all the way to the end and your last 2 stitches, here they are, there's one there and there's one there. You will put a half double crochet in each of those. The last action you will do from your repeats is to skip a stitch. That's the 3rd stitch from the end will be skipped. So your final set of single crochet, double crochet will go into the 4th from the end. Then you will skip one more stitch and then you'll pop a half double crochet into each one of those. So I'll get to there and we'll meet up again so we can finish off together. Here I am. That's my last set of stitches there and my last skipped stitch, and now all I need to do is put a half double crochet in each of my last 2 stitches. The very last one will be that standing single crochet you started with. That's it. And now we just chain 2 and turn, and then we move on to row 3. So hopefully you've got all that done, and I'll catch up with you again in a few minutes and we'll continue row 3. Row 3 has its chain 2 for its first half double crochet, and that is in the first stitch. That's right there. Now we need to make our paired stitch immediately into the second half double crochet. That's over here. Okay, remember the loops are on the wrong side because we're on the wrong side of the work. So in the very next stitch, the second half double, we start immediately with our pattern of single crochet and double crochet into the same stitch. And then we're going to skip the double crochet of the previous row. Now please don't get mixed up here. These top loops belong to the double crochet. If you flip it over, you'll see it clearly. There's the double crochet, there are its loops. Not those. We're skipping those, all right? And we come over here to the top loops of the single crochet, and we make our single crochet and double crochet into that stitch. So all the way along we're going to be skipping the double crochet and remembering that the top loops are opposite to where we expect them to be. Okay, whether you're left or right-handed, just remember that. And then we go across to the single crochet and put a single crochet and a double crochet in it. Skip, single crochet and double crochet. Skip. I know it doesn't look obvious and you're worried, but it is. You've got to come way over here. And a double crochet in that same stitch. I'm probably a little bit high for the camera, so I hope you could see all that. If not, I'll do one more just in case. So skipping those first loops from the double and coming over to the single and working a single crochet and a double crochet. So I'll go all the way along 105 times if you're following the pattern, and you should finish up with 3 skipped stitches. Now the very last one will be your chain 2. Before that is the half double that we made in the previous row. It's right there. And the last single crochet. These are the 3 stitches you need to have left over, because your last set of stitches, your last repeat, 105, will go in this single crochet over here. And part of your repeat is to skip the double crochet. So you'll put your last pair of stitches in there, you'll skip your double crochet, I'll meet you here and we'll finish up the row together. Here we are. That was the last set. I'm going to skip my double crochet with the top loops being skipped there, and in the last 3 stitches this is what we do. We're going to put a single crochet in the first one, just a plain single crochet, then a half double crochet in that half double crochet before the end, and then I need a half double crochet in the top of my chain 2. Okay, and that's what it will look like. So there's my last pair of stitches, the single crochet and double crochet in the single crochet. We skip the final double crochet there, we put a single crochet in the next stitch, which is the second part of this pair here. Then we put a half double crochet in the half double crochet and a half double crochet into the chain 2 at the end, or you may have a starting stitch. Now all I need to do now is chain 1 and turn, and we are back to the front, and then we'll meet up again for row 4. Alright, and that's looking very pretty. Lots of pretty texture here. Back soon. Row 4, we will be working back loop only stitches in this round, single crochet in the back loop only, but we do need to take a minute to understand the stitch anatomy here. We are looking at the reverse side of our stitches. Even though this is the right side of my fabric, this last row was made from the reverse side. So I'm actually looking at the back of my stitches in this row 3 here. Now normally when we make back loop only stitches, we try to hunt out the back and third loops where possible, especially in the double crochets and the half doubles. We get a back loop and a third loop. When we work singles, we just tell you normally to pick up just the back loop, because even though the third loop is there, it's very hard to get into. You really have to fish around for it, and we don't bother. But this is not a normal situation. We are coming at these stitches from the reverse angle. So really, our third loop is sitting on the front. It's right there. There, 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 there. So you can't really do the back and third loop. So what I'm going to ask you to do is turn your work here and look at the V on top. And all I want you to do is pick up the back loop as you see it. From the correct side of the stitchwork, that's the front loop. But when you're looking at it from behind, it's the back loop. So just pick that one up. Don't worry about a third loop, it's in the front. And if we do that, you'll see we will get a really nice stitch definition and ridge forming as we work down the line. So to begin this row, we start with the single crochet in the same stitch as the chain 1. Okay, So there's this first stitch and there's my chain 1. So back loop only, the back of the top 2 loops, single crochet. Just rotate your work a little bit towards you and it's much easier to do. Back loop only, all the way down, single crochet. You will end up with 216 if you're following the full pattern. Check your stitch counts, don't skip anything. When you get to the other end, please remember that these top loops belong to the half double crochet below, or was it a single crochet? I think it was the single crochet, yes, because we immediately started our paired stitch down here. So these loops belong to that single crochet, right? Remember that. And we also had to turn. So we had a turning chain of 2 here, and you need to put a stitch in that. Don't forget that or your stitch count will be wrong. Okay, I'll leave you to it. Back loop only all the way down. There's your last stitch, back loop only into there. Don't try and find a back loop only on your chain, just grab the chain and make your final stitch. Alright, and then we'll reconvene for row 5. Row 5 begins with the chain 2. I don't remember if I mentioned it at the end of row 4, but at the end of row 4, when you've finished all your back loop stitches, and let's just take a quick look at how pretty that looks now. Now, having made those back loop only stitches, we've got this beautiful ridge work here. And then at the end we needed to make a chain 2, and I did ask you not to forget to put a single crochet in your chain 2 from below. Alright, so chain 2 at the end of row 4, and we are ready to start row 5. So row 5, that chain 2 counts as your first half double, and as I said, it's a repeat of row 2. So all we're going to do is put a half double crochet into the next stitch over here. This one's used with the chain 2. Half double crochet in the next stitch, and then you start making your pairs. Right? In the next stitch, 1 single crochet and 1 double crochet. Skip a stitch. Oops, skip. Remember, we're skipping a stitch, double crochet, single crochet and double crochet in the next one. Skip a stitch, single crochet and double crochet in the next. All the way down. Oops, I dropped too many loops. All the way down. Skip, single crochet and double crochet. Okay, so at the very end you should end up, after all of your repeats, with 2 stitches. Okay, that's my chain 1, we don't care about that. There's my second last stitch, and there's my last stitch right there. That's my turning chain. Even though I just yanked it, that's my turning chain, and we don't want that. Not interested. Okay, so let's go all the way down. You've done this before, so you know. Skip 1, single crochet, double crochet, skip 1, single crochet, double crochet, all the way down, but a half double crochet in each of the last 2 stitches. Half double, then you're going to chain 2 and turn, and we'll get together again for row 6 next. Row 6 is a duplicate of row 3, and if you remember row 3, we started our patterning immediately after the first chain 2, which counts as your first half double crochet. So that belongs to that stitch, and we are immediately going to start our paired stitches of single crochet and double crochet in that second half double crochet. Alright, and then we just keep going. We skip the double crochet component of the next set and we work into the single crochet. Oops, I'm trying to make a double crochet when I should be making a single. Single crochet and double crochet into the single crochet from below, skipping the double crochet. Skip, single crochet and double crochet into the next stitch. Skip, single crochet and double crochet into the next stitch, all the way down until you have 3 stitches left after skipping. And again, another reminder that your last stitch should either be one of those starting stitches or a chain 2, and it's right there, and you need to get a stitch in there. So when it says you will have 3 stitches left in the pattern, count the chain, 1, 2 and 3. So your last repeat will fall here in this single crochet here, the second last one. Then you skip your stitch, that's the last step of the repeat, skip the double crochet, and then we're going to put 1 single crochet here and 1 half double crochet in the last 2. So again, it's a repeat of row 3. We've been through it before, but I'll still go through that last bit with you. I'll get myself there first. Back soon. Here I am. That's my last set, going into the second last single crochet. This is the last single crochet over here. So we still need to skip the double crochet, this one. That's the last action of the repeat. Skip 1 stitch, skip the double crochet. Then in the next single crochet, we are just going to put a plain single crochet all on its own. You'll have to forgive me, I'm still recovering from laryngitis. I keep losing my voice every so often. So next up, we need to put a half double in this half double here, the second last stitch, and a half double in the chain 2, the turning chain here, into the top of that turning chain 2. Don't forget that one, or you'll lose your stitch count. So that we have 3 plain stitches on the end, a single crochet and 2 half double crochet. Alright, the last thing we need to do is chain 2 and turn. And now we're ready for row 7. So if you haven't finished yet, carry on and I'll meet you for round 7 soon. Row 7 is a repeat of row 2 again. So our chain 2 counts as the first half double crochet. I need a half double crochet in the next stitch over here. That's the first stitch with the chain. Half double in the next stitch. There. And now we start our repeats again. So 1 single crochet and 1 double crochet in the next stitch. Skip the double crochet and single crochet and double crochet in the next stitch. Skip. There's the top loops of that double crochet right there. Skip, and we're going in there. Single crochet and double crochet all the way down till you get to the last 2 stitches after you do your skip. Alright, the last action in every repeat is the skip. When you get to the end, you should have 2 stitches left. Alright, so after you skip, because the end of every repeat is the skipping section. So your last set of stitches will go in this single crochet here. You will skip the final double crochet there. That's the last part of your instructions. Right? And then you need to put a half double crochet into each of the next 2 stitches. So one of them will be the single crochet there. That's the single crochet from that pair. And then you also need one in your chain. Please don't forget your chain. Alright, and that is row 7, exactly the same as row 2. Alright, let's get that done. You need to chain 1 and turn at the end of it, and we'll reconvene for row 8. Row 8 is a repeat of row 4 now. It's our back loop only row, so we need to start immediately in that first stitch that has the chain in it with a back loop. And as you recall, I said to use the back of the top 2 loops, the back one of the top 2. Alright, all the way down, 216 stitches total. Alright, and check the other end and make sure what you've got. We have a chain 2 at the end for our starting, excuse me, motorbike going by, for our start over here. So that's one of the half double crochet, the chain 2. So make sure you get this one in. You must get this one done, the second last half double, and this is my turning chain. So I just need to get a stitch in there. Just get a single crochet anywhere into that turning chain, and we're good to go for row 9. And I'll see you then. But we do need a chain 2 to turn. All right. So make sure you put a chain 2 when you're done. Back soon. Row 9 is another repeat of row 2. The pattern tells you that, so you can always reference back if you need to. But the description is there in row 9 as well. A chain 2 counts as our first half double crochet. I need a second half double crochet in the next stitch, because this is where the chain is. So in the next stitch, a half double crochet, and then we begin our repeat. 1 single crochet and 1 double crochet in the next stitch. Skip 1, 1 single crochet and 1 double crochet in the next stitch. Very easy all the way down till you have your last 2 stitches because you'll be skipping the third last one. So your last stitch will go in here, single crochet, double crochet in there, and skip a stitch. That's the last action of your repeat. Trapped. Leaving you 2 stitches here, and you'll put 1 half double crochet in each of those last 2 stitches. Then you just need to chain 2 and turn, and we'll be back for row 10. Very easy. Onto row 10, which is a repeat of row 3. The chain 2 counts as our first half double crochet, and we are starting immediately with our repeat. So immediately in the next stitch, which is over here, not here, here, that's the second half double here, with the single crochet and the double crochet. Skip the double crochet and into the single crochet, and double crochet. Done it before, over and over. I'll leave you with it, and if you recall, when you get to the end, you will have 3 stitches left plus a 4th, which will be the skipped stitch. So your last repeat goes into this second last single crochet over here, not there, there. Your last repeat, single crochet, double crochet. You will skip the last stitch, you'll put a single crochet in the next one, and a half double crochet in each of the last 2. Alright, if you want, I might just wait for you here and we'll do it together, because then we have one final row to do. So our pretty maids are done for the last time. I finished the last one here in the second last single crochet. We skip the double crochet. In the next and last single crochet we put a single crochet and then a half double crochet in the half double crochet, oops, if I can get in there from below, and a half double crochet into the turning chain 2. Don't forget that one. Alright, our last action here is to make a chain 1 and turn for the final run. But take a look, just take a look at the texture in this. If I roll it forward, you can see there's some beautiful ridges. Oops, a little bit further back, there we go. It's just beautiful. And they're pretty little maids, and if you look carefully, and I know I have all one colour, but you can see the stitches rolling in opposite directions. So these ones going like that, and then up here we have 3 sets, one that way, one that way, one back that way, and then to finish off we have 2 more that way and that way. So it's a bit thicker in the centre than it is on the edges. We've got 2 sets here and here, we have 3 sets here. A bit hard to tell on a solid colour, but you can see them. Alright, I'll be back in a second for the final row. Okay, row 11 is easy. There's nothing special here. We're going to start with a single crochet in the same stitch as the chain, and then just make a single crochet all the way down. Not back loops, not anything, just straight single crochet into every single stitch. Take the opportunity to triple check your stitch count now, get those stitch markers out and make sure you end up with what you should have. Whatever you've decided to do in terms of sizing, if you're following the pattern, you must still have 216 stitches all the way down. Alright, that's all this is for part 5, Faye's Pretty Maids all in a row. I'll leave you to finish that. You need to fasten off and secure your ends if you're changing colour. And once you're done with that, we stay on the right side. You flip to the right side, I should say, you don't stay, and put your cross the miles in. Pick up that video, it's separate again, and get that done. And then when we're all done and ready, we'll get together again for part 6. Bye.